Special indeed, John. Thank you. This is Monica Balderas and Aslan Roberts. They're here to talk to us about the Sexual Assault Awareness Month events and the programs that they have planned. Ladies, I think I want to start with just kind of setting the table and talking about how big of a problem this is here in our area. Monica, let's start with you.
Yeah, so we work with family support services, and the issue that we see with sexual assault here in our city is something that people could not truly understand. You know, of course, sexual assault reports are not always publicized, depending on the victim, depending on the situation, and so what you think is happening, the problem is way bigger than that. And so Aslan here, she's actually a volunteer, she's an advocate that does the hospital accompaniment programs. And so she can tell a little bit more about those situations of that happen here in Amarillo.
Aslan, you're on the front lines. So when these calls come in, you have to be there to walk these people through this. And when people, as Monica said, would be shocked at what happens in our city.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, we have a pretty small team and we're responding 24 hours a day, holidays, the whole bit. You know, the biggest thing that I would say is it takes a long time. And so for a survivor to even kind of have that courage and that bravery to come forward to share their story is really difficult. And then just working through the process. And so it's truly an honor to interact with them in those spaces.
So how important is it to raise awareness that we're doing this month with a couple of different things?
I mean, it's absolutely essential. It's a community issue, and it's something that we all need to be really having a better understanding of, debunking myths around, and that's ultimately what this month is for, is to really discuss, you know, what can we do as a community. And
we can't take on these kinds of problems in our community without great workers, and we have that over at Family Support Services. Tell us about what you guys are doing to make sure that these people know that they're not alone.
Yeah, so April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and while we do this all year around, April we really kick it into high gear, and we do some of the more fun events, the more community engagement events, such as Beyond the Little Black Dress. That's a cocktail event that we're doing this Thursday at Crush. And what it is, it's just an event to bring community members together, community partners, anybody and everybody can come and join us, and we'll just have discussions about consent. I think right now that's one of the biggest issues when it comes to sexual assault, just the understanding of no means no. You know, there's so many blurred lines that should not be blurred, and so we want to help kind of, you know, share some information about that so that people are more understanding of that and can explain it to their kids and explain it to their young sons and their daughters, so that when they get older and they're in the workforce and they're out at clubs and they're dating, they know specifically what consent means and what it doesn't mean. And so Beyond the Little Black Dress happens this Thursday at 7 p.m. at Crush. We'll have Jen and the Potty Mouths there providing live entertainment. There will be a lot of just interactive and engaging conversation revolving around consent. And
then real quick, the Walk a Mile in Her Shoes Awareness March that's coming up at the end of April.
Yeah, so that is April 29th. That's next Wednesday at 12 p.m. at the Potter County Courthouse lawn. We'll have some food trucks there, but the premise of the event is really having these conversations around what is it like to be a survivor reporting these crimes, and what does healing look like. At Family Support Services, you know, we believe in healing and justice on individuals' terms, and so how do we interact with them? But really, you know, what does that process look like, so that if you're ever in that situation, or if you have a loved one that you're trying to support, also understanding what that looks like and what to expect.
Well, thank you both for standing in the gap for these victims and what you're doing in our community. Thank you so much. Where can we go to get more information on the events that you guys talked about?
Yeah, you can go straight to our Facebook page. That's usually the most up to date. We're constantly posting all of our flyers, all of our events, everything that we have going on. And then of course, you can always call Family Support Services at 806-342-2500 if you or anybody you know are in need of services.
Ladies, thank you so much for being here. We do have more Studio 4 coming up after this.